palette. I did get this while I was in Mexico. I know I have mentioned this previously in another video, but I just love the shades that are in this palette. Like, can you guys see? They are absolutely beautiful. And the one that I am applying right now, it is called Artful, and it's just like a very warm brown, and I'm just kind of building it up as I go. And then I will be going in with a different brush. I'm going to be using this little brush. I think it's from Wet n Wild. Yeah, I've washed it so many times that the name of it's starting to come off. The shade Craze. I'm going to go ahead and apply it right underneath, but I am also bringing it up a little bit just to kind of darken up that area where I applied the warm brown, because I want more of a darker tone. So I find that mixing these two together give me that color payoff that I want in that area there. So I'm just taking a little bit more of that Craze, building it up, just taking my time with it. As I get closer to the outer corner, I'm just kind of blending it out so there's no harsh lines. But I'm not too worried about it because I usually use like my concealer or my foundation to kind of clean up. It is a lot of blending. So that way you build it up to where you want it to be. So now that I am done blending all that out, I am going to go ahead and use this small brush here. This is an e.l.f. brush. It's a eye crease brush. It's super little. It looks like this. And I'm taking their shade Black. I'm just kind of dipping it into that shade, and then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of dab it into the outer corner, working my way up to where I have like that crease line. And then I'm going back into that shade, again dipping it in there, tapping off the excess, and then doing the exact same thing again. I'm not worried too much about blending it right now because I will go in with a different brush. So I'm just worrying about dabbing it in and kind of blending out the outer corner like so, bringing it towards. But I'm going to go ahead and use other brush. It has, Vasanti. Contour eyeshadow number 4. I believe I got this brush in one of my Ipsy or BoxyCharm bags. So back into that Essentials palette, dip a little bit more and darken it up. I do want it to be a little bit more on the dark side, because I do really want that gold that I applied on this eye to really pop. And it's, again, a lot of blending. Really take your time with it. And I will be cutting the crease. So if it gets a little messy, that's okay, because we're going to fix that when cutting the crease. So then I do have a neutral brush, which is this one. It's not so neutral anymore because I did use it on this eye. But I am going to go ahead and just blend everything together using this neutral brush. Just blending all of the shades so that way they flow nicely. There's no harsh lines or anything like that. I'm going to wipe it off a little bit because I'm picking up a little bit of that glitter from the other shade. From the glitter, from the gold. And then I am taking my handy dandy LA Girl Pro Conceal and Biscay, squeezing a little bit out, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease. Now that it is cut, I am going to use this flat brush here, like this one, and I'm just going to go ahead and start dabbing it into place. And then as I get closer to the inner corner, I am kind of using swiping motions. And then dab. But when I'm using swiping motions, I'm using a very light hand. And then I am going to use that brush that I used to blend in that black, and then blend it into the concealer, just so it blends nicely. I'm using a very, very light hand. But can you see how it blends so nicely? And then once that is done, I am going to go back in with that brush that I used earlier to apply craze. And I am just going to dip it back into craze and apply a little bit more on the top here. And then going in with that neutral brush to kind of blend it all out. And since that black did get washed out, I'm going to go ahead and use that e.l.f. brush, go back into the Essentials. I'm going to go ahead and darken it up just a little bit more so I can get a little bit of color back in there. And then blend it out with this guy. So you just kind of I'm going to keep building it up a little bit more. This is really up to your preference. I just want my outer corner to be a little bit darker. So that is why I keep building it up as I go. Taking that neutral brush again to kind of blend it all out. And then here it's like a shimmery gold, in dabbing motions. Dabbing and swiping, not gonna lie. It is such a beautiful shade. Like, do you guys see that? It's so pretty. And then I'm using like a little, I don't even know what you call this kind of brush, like a little pointer brush, like this one, this little pointer brush, and just applying that right on top of that gold that I just used. The brush that I used to apply the gold, I'm just kind of dab everything into place, and then towards the outer corner I'm just kind of swiping just so it blends in with that black. And then I'm gonna go back with that black this brush to go ahead and blend it all out. And again, I'm being very gentle towards the outer corner so that way I can blend in that glitter with that black right here. So I'm using a very light hand just so it blends in nicely. That way it does not look harsh. And then I am just blending upwards to really blend out that black. And then going in back with that glitter brush, and then again, like I said, actually let me wipe it off. Just keep blending this outward. And then going back with that other brush again and just blending everything some more. Point is, you want it to make sure it's really well blended, so that's why it's a lot of blending and a lot of going back and forth between brushes. because you don't want any harsh lines. And then going in back with that crease brush, there's no extra product or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and blend everything out a little bit more up here. And then going back with that neutral brush just to blend everything out some more. Again, like, I know I sound like freaking parrot repeating myself over and over again, but yeah, it's a lot of blending. So then it's just like a white shade. It's called Cream, and I'm gonna take that. Me lo voy a poner aquí, and I'm gonna put it right here onto the inner corner, but bring it up as well. And at first it's gonna look a little cray-cray, but you're gonna blend it all out, so it's gonna look okay. And go back in with that neutral brush, and then that's the brush you're gonna use to go ahead and blend it all out, so that way it doesn't look like you have just a white mark there. Like so. And I'm taking that crease brush again, and I'm just going to really focus it here because I feel that this side is a little bit darker than this one. So I want to make them even. There's no extra product here or anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and use whatever's left. Go back in with that neutral brush and blend it out. And then I'm going to take this brush here. It's like an angled brush. I'm going to go ahead and use that black shade in the Violet Voss Essentials palette, and I'm just going to create a winged liner just to kind of give myself some guidance. And then once I have it all mapped out, I will go in with liquid liner to go right on top of it. Now that the wing liner is set, I am going to go ahead and use that little, no, actually I'm going to go ahead and use that e.l.f. brush again. Like I said, I want to go ahead and just build it up to the color that I want it to be, and right now it's not that black, so I want to go ahead and build it up a little bit more. And then using that shade, that brush, go ahead and blend it all out again. Head and highlight my brow bone. I'm just taking a small brush like this one, and I'm going to use that cream shade from the Violet Voss Essentials palette just because I feel it is so beautiful and it honestly highlights so nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that right underneath here. Don't worry, I'm not leaving it like that. I'm going to go ahead and blend it out, but I'm just going to go ahead and apply it first. It is so pretty. I think that's one of my favorite shades from this palette, honestly. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that neutral brush that I've been using all throughout just to blend everything out and blend that highlight there just so it doesn't look crazy. So just definitely be careful when you're using shades like those black shades, just because if you apply too much it could really like get way too far down, and then it's just kind of harder to clean up. So really just take your time applying it down on the lash line and find like the right brush that would fit nicely and that you're able to apply that product nicely. And then with this flat brush here, I'm just going to go ahead and blend it all out, only because this brush is a little bit too big, So I want to make sure that I'm able to blend it out nicely without bringing it too far down onto my face, really. I'm going to go ahead and just keep using this brush and grab a little bit more of that black. And what I'm going to do, instead of swiping it, I'm going to go ahead and press it. Just like so. And then I'll go ahead and blend it. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off though onto this paper towel that I have down here. And just really take my time blending it out. Voila. So now I am going to go ahead and apply some mascara. This is also a Mexican brand mascara that I got while I was in Mexico. Because there's so much to try out there, and there's so many different products and a ton of different mascaras. One of my favorite mascaras that I honestly stocked up on while I was there is this Habibi mascara. It's Habibi. It has fibers to kind of add some more length to your lashes, and it is a very good mascara. If you're going to Mexico, I definitely recommend you to try and pick up at least one of those mascaras. There are different ones though. I get the one with the silver cap because there are different ones that do different things, but this is more length to your lashes. I know that there's other ones that just kind of intensify them by adding a little bit of length without the fibers. So just definitely look into the different mascaras that they have there, but I definitely recommend getting one of those. I actually got my cousins onto that mascara too. I'm going to go ahead and apply some highlighter. It's pretty. And then again with my stippling brush, just going to blend it all out. So for lipstick, I am going to use the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade Missy and Fierce. It's the number 930B. So I'm not using any lip liner or anything like that. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it directly. It looks kind of funny like this. I absolutely love this liquid lipstick. I think I picked this one up at CVS. It is super pigmented. It makes my teeth look extra white. Super pigmented, very long lasting, so definitely check it out. Like I said, this is Missy and Fierce 930B, and I will go ahead and list it in the description box. So that is pretty much all I have for today's video. This is the final look with this makeup look that I created. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And until next time, I will see you guys later. See ya.